Okay, so now we're on to the identity property, because our last property for today, but there will be another video reviewing some order of operations stuff and evaluating expressions, because it's been 2 weeks since we've done that, and we need to review it and practice it a little bit, because it's not going away. We're going to keep using it. So, okay, identity property. I went ahead and pre-wrote again just to save time, so you can pause the video as needed. But so the vocabulary we're using for the identity is, think about your identity is who you are, right? It's me, myself, and it's just a silly phrase, me, myself, and 0 and 1. If you can remember that phrase, me, myself, and 0 and 1, it's just, those are the only two numbers that are part of the identity property. So it's just a silly little phrase. So identity, me, myself, and 0 and 1 are included in that. So how are they included? Well, the first thing is the identity property of addition. Now, this is really important here. I'm going to use a couple of different colors. The identity property addition is also called the additive identity. So you need to make sure that you know the identity property of addition is also called the additive identity. That word will come up, that phrase, that vocabulary. It'll come up in practice and quizzes, and next year and the year after, the additive identity. Okay, so what does that mean? So I went ahead and wrote the definition already. So let me read it, and then you can always pause to write it down. We'll talk about it. It means that adding 0 to a number does not change the value of the number. You already know that. You pretty much learned that in first grade. But what is new is this vocabulary. It's called the additive identity. Okay, identity property only relates to 0 and 1, me, myself, 0 and 1. So anytime I add 0 to something, it doesn't change it, right? So let's write a couple of examples down. You may have to pause this and jot all this in your spiral, and that's fine. Just trying to shorten the videos a bit. So some examples would be 5 plus 0 is equal to 5. Okay, the original number, the original value, does not change by adding 0 to it. Okay, or 0 plus 33 is equal to 30. Oops. Oh my goodness. I don't know what I did. It's hard to know where to look. Okay, that's just a weird 33. It's got a new hairdo. The value 33 does not change having 0 added to it. Okay, and it could be something with a variable. It could be, 15y plus 0 is still equal to 15y. Okay, so the value does not change by adding 0. Okay, that's pretty simple. You guys know that. This is, like I said, the new thing, additive identity. Okay, and then, so the same thing applies to multiplication. Again, just like the commutative property and the associative property, we're just talking about addition and multiplication today. Okay, no subtraction, no divisions, doesn't relate or apply. Okay, so multiplicative identity, that's that fun word to say, multiplicative. Okay, so remember that the identity property of multiplication is also called the multiplicative identity. And I'm going to make sure I really know that and I can find this, because tomorrow when I'm doing some practice, or later today I'm doing some practice, and I get asked a question about the multiplicative identity, you're going to be like, what is that? Let me flip through my notes. Oh, there it is. It's nice popping out at me. Okay, so make it to where you can find it. So what does that mean? It means that when you multiply a number by 1, it does not change the value of the number. Okay, you guys know this. Again, you learned this back in first grade. But this is the new vocabulary we're adding. It's the multiplicative identity. It just means a number retains its identity when you multiply it by 1. Or a number retains or keeps its own identity when you add 0 to it. So the reason it's called identity is because the number keeps its identity. The 5 is still a 5. The 33 is still a 33. The 15y is still a 15y. And then because I'm only adding a 0, but if I multiply anything by 1, the number still keeps its identity. It still keeps its number. So if I do 4 times 1, it is equal to 4. The 4 keeps its identity. It is still a 4. Okay? If I do 1 times 26, the 26 keeps its identity. It is still a 26. It hasn't changed. I could do 9t times 1, or not the word 9, 0, 9 t times 1 is still equal to 9t. Okay, it doesn't change the identity of that value. Okay, so identity, me, myself, 0 and 1 are included in that. You do not change the identity of a number if you add a 0 or if you multiply it by 1. So the practice for this one is, so again, pause if you need to write any of this stuff down. Once you have all this down, move on to the next page. And you don't have to write all of these instructions down. I wrote them ahead of time to save time. But just make 2 columns, addition and multiplication. And then there are 8 problems up here, and I just want you to sort them by which one are they representing. Are they representing the identity property of addition or the identity property of multiplication? So like this first one, 9 times 1 equals 9. That would be an example of multiplicate, or the identity property of multiplication. I'm just going to check it off so I know I already did that. So if you want to write them down first so you don't forget any of them, but you should have 8. So I'm going to pause the video. No, I'm not going to pause it. I want you to pause the video, finish sorting these, and then unpause the video and cut when you're done and come back and we'll check your answers. Okay, see you in a sec. Okay, welcome back. We're going to finish. I'm going to go down my column. 0 plus 18 should have gone on the addition side. Okay, 7 plus 0 should have gone on the addition side. 1 times 27 should have gone on the multiplication side. 3 times 1. Notice sometimes I'm putting what we call the answer, or the value. It's really the value first, because you're going to see it written like that. Doesn't matter. They're still equivalent. Okay. This is an example of addition. 48 is equal to 0 plus 48. I know, Daisy. It's okay. My dog is scared. She's over here. It's okay. And then 1 times 8, or 86, is equal to 1 times 86. And then this last one is equal to this. So hopefully you had that. Okay. So we've gone through 3 properties. Okay. Make sure you have all your notes, that you did well on these examples. I'm going to do one more video, again, going over some order of operations and substituting numbers for a value and solving using order of operations. And then you have some practice problems to do. And then you'll practice some more of this tomorrow. All right. That's it for the properties of addition and multiplication for today. See you later.